Before we start, we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For me, that is the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation.
And for me, it's the Wurundjeri peoples of the Kulin Nation.
Hi, everybody. Why do we always have to sing? It's so lame. Why can't we just be normal humans that just say, hi.
Boring. Hello. Hello.
I'm Yvie Jones from National Tiles.
That's Angie. Why don't we just sing everything?
Yeah, but at least you can sing. I sound like a frickin' pleb.
Yeah, but who cares? Singing is singing. Everyone can sing. Whether it sounds good or not is irrelevant.
That's true, actually. That's true. But
So
anyway.
Sing it out. Sing it out.
Welcome.
Go. Okay, stop now.
Okay.
I changed my mind.
Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway.
No, you sing, girl. You get it out.
You sing your heart out.
Welcome to the Two Girls, One Pod.
God, this is getting dreadful. I don't even really know how to intro into our first topic, to be honest. How do you
What
just
is our first topic? I don't remember.
men not having sex?
Oh, hello. Well, you know how we came up with this? We got another DM. We got a DM from someone that said, can you please discuss men going weeks and weeks without having sex with you in a relationship? Why are they not wanting to bonk my brains out? Something like that.
Yeah, they say they're still so attracted to you, then why the heck are they not bonking you all the damn time? Look, firstly, I'd like to say thank you for thinking that we would know the answer to these things because
we do not.
We do not, but we do love to give everything a solid shot. So we will give you
have
what
opinions.
we have opinions a go-go. So we can do that. I personally think men not having sex for weeks in a relationship, I don't know because I feel like I sometimes don't want to have sex for weeks in a relationship. Towards the middle and maybe later down the track. At first, please, I'll have sex every damn day. 3 times even. But it all depends on my mood and my hormones.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm very sexual, Yvie Jones. Don't look so shocked. I'm a lady on the streets and a freak in the sheets.
Oh, my
No,
God.
not really. I don't know.
I think just like women, men don't want to have sex sometimes. They just don't. I've had many relationships where I've had a much higher sex drive than the man.
I think everyone's so different.
I think it's a generalisation that men just want to bonk all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Because there are men who don't and there are women who do and there are some who don't. So it really is a bit of everything. But if they're not wanting to have sex with you, do they not want to have sex or do they not want to have sex with you?
That's something to ponder.
That's happened to me and I think, maybe they were gay. They just didn't want to have sex with me.
Did you find out if they were gay though, or are you just assuming?
I'm assuming.
Look, I think sex is also such an animalistic, attraction-based thing that just because somebody doesn't want to have sex with you, that doesn't make you unattractive or not desirable. It just means that you're just not each other's sexual person or you don't let off the same pheromones that the other person wants to smell. And I think, as women, we spend so much time beating ourselves up if men don't find us attractive, but I don't find a lot of different other people attractive. You know what I mean? I don't find everybody attractive. So why? Don't beat yourself up. Just find somebody else you want to sex.
But, you're going to have amazing sexual chemistry with someone without having a good everything else connection, which is just so awful. Maybe that's why cheating happens. You've got this amazing partner, but you're just not sexually wanting them, but you want someone else sexually, but you don't want anything else with them.
Yeah, well, that happens a lot.
The reason why I don't think that, marriage is good because we commit ourselves to something that eventually changes. And then, is that okay? Maybe you can just end up with a friendship with your partner and maybe that's where open marriages come from.
Because sometimes sex is just sex. But then again, I also read a quote the other day because I'm all into my spirituality and all that jazz. The patron saint for average white girls over here. I read a quote being like, sex when you do the work and you start really connecting with yourself and spirituality is like putting your energy in to another person. It's like random sex is just like getting a charger, plugging it into a computer, downloading all their files and then keeping onto it. And I was like, whoa, that's huge. Like to think if you're, when you're in a room and you can feel other people's energies, imagine what you take home and you feel a little bit lethargic or down or sometimes high and heightened. When you sex somebody, imagine what you're taking in of them from their energy. That's a lot of baggage.
That's why a lot of the time, and this isn't just a male thing because this has happened to me, to look into someone's eyes while you're having sex is extremely confronting.
Yeah. It says a lot if you don't like it.
When it's just two bodies kind of doing a thing and you're getting off and they're getting off and it's two bodies just making each other do that. But to have sex with someone that you're really connected with and you look into their eyes, my God, it's mind-blowing. Or it can be completely frightening.
I think a lot of the time, trust your somatic response when it comes to sex. Don't just have sex because you think you have to. Get out of your head.
Don't think about it. Let your body
Yes.
talk.
I'm actually doing this really good course through Georgia Grace. We had her on Angie Tries It, and I got her course that she's doing. It's like kind of like just a sex course, I guess, but learning more about the somatic responses to it. And I learned so much. But if you're a real energy feeler like myself and you, I don't know, are into all that stuff, it is kind of important to get out of your head and feel how your body feels with sex. And maybe for this person who sent this in, are you really attracted to this guy, or do you just want him to be attracted to you because you think that's what you want? Like, are you actually really enjoying the sex as well? Really think about it, but don't think about it. Feel about it.
Do you think you just have to have sex because you're in a relationship?
Get out of that little monkey brain. You know, we just like monkey mind where it's like past conditioning, society, but get into your body and feel what you really want and then go with someone else.
And also know that, there are men who they don't like to admit it either, that they don't like a lot of sex. Their mates rib them about it. Clementine Ford did a story about how an influencer, she used to be on Big Brother back in the day, and she has a husband, and she says if she doesn't want sex, it's fine, but if he doesn't, she annoys the shit out of him until he just does, because there's no way I'm taking no for an answer.
That was gross.
Clementine then went on and did a huge, that's a coercive control. That's the same as what men do to women, and it's a really hideous thing to do, to coerce anyone into having sex with you because you think that they're not being a man if they don't want your body whenever you present it to them, is just as bad as a man demanding sex from a woman whenever he feels like it.
Yeah.
Then she went on and showed a DM from a man who said he gets this all the time and he can't tell. He's a tradie, he goes to work and he can't tell his mates how he feels raped. His girlfriend forces him to have sex and he doesn't feel like it. And she gives him are you a man or what?
Oh, that's so awful.
That's hideous. It goes both ways. It doesn't go both ways often, but it goes both ways.
Yeah, because we could talk to our girlfriends about it. We're more likely to go to therapy and like decompress everything. Whereas
men don't talk to each other about that kind of thing.
They don't do it.
Most mates, even if they didn't think it, they would say, "Oh, you're a fucking girl, mate. Just do it."
Oh, that's a lot of past conditioning.
How can you turn it down? You're fucking an idiot. Oh, I play good man, don't I?
Yeah, that was good.
We should talk about good memories.
But what about like fave childhood memories?
Do you know a favourite childhood memory for me that I can still do to this day is my dad would make warm tea with a lot of sugar in it.
Bless.
Like that's how he knew I liked it. So he would make it. Because Dad, when we owned the shop, we had a general store, corner store, and Dad also used to be a garbo at the same time. So he would go and do his run, fill the truck up with all the garbage and everything, and then he'd come sometimes, not all the time, very rarely, he would come and pick me and my brother up and we'd get to go in the truck to the tip.
That sounds like childhood dreams right there.
It is a good one. You'd always have like a Mars bar on the dashboard for each of us and a thermos with a bit of tea in it.
That's so old school Australian, isn't it? Having a little warm cup of tea with your little Mars bar.
So if I have a warm cup of milky tea with sugar in it, it takes me right back.
Isn't it funny that as kids, how we don't even realize that certain things that we did, we bring into adulthood? Like you wouldn't even realize it until you re-say it now that, yeah, I'd see you have really milky teas and I'd be like, oh, that's weird. But that was that was a feeling, a memory
Comfort.
that you love. Yeah, it's a comfort thing. I remember now, this has randomly popped into my head. My dad, God love him, he would, because my dad worked at Saw Lab for like 30 years and he'd answer the phone, he'd never say hello and he'd just go, Saw Lab, Soil Lab. But he'd go, Saw Lab, so we'd call him Saw Lab. Anyway, he worked at the Saw Lab and he'd often like wax his fingers for me and bring home his waxed fingers. And I loved it.
Dad, how good are your wax fingers?
I'm like, Dad, you waxed your fingers again. Sick. This will be forever bookmarked in my brain.
Did you take them to school?
I just loved them because I had my dad's weird wax and he's got weird little, not big actually, fingers. And he'd put his hands through that pain to give me some wax fingies for when I got home from school.
It's amazing how sweet that is that, you know, you have these memories. I remember even on my mum's deathbed, my God, this is going to make me cry, and I've told you this before, but my mum, and I told her this on her deathbed, I said to her, you used to make me a ham, tomato and cheese sandwich for school. And by the time it came to lunchtime, the tomato had gone through it and made the white bread doughy.
Yes.
And everyone would, you're not going to eat that. That's so gross. And I would eat it. And I would love it because she had touched it. She had made it. And I just could not. And so I still, to this day, if I have one of those sandwiches, I just think of how, you know, I wish she'd, you know, that smell of your mum that you have? I was away from my mum for a while as an adult, like lived away. And there was a woman in a canteen that I worked at when I was working at SeaWorld. Her name was Mawsy. She always worked across, she looked exactly like my mother. She worked in the canteen, so she was across the bench, right? Big bench. And it wasn't until Christmas party at the end of the year, we'd been working together for 12 months, that we actually hugged each other. She smelt like my mum. She had the same pancake makeup. And I just burst into tears because I hadn't seen mum for about 4 months. You know, it's a huge thing to not see your mum for a couple, you know, whatever. That's why, you know, people always give everyone a hard time when they go on the reality shows. And it's like, oh, my God, you haven't seen your family for 2 weeks and you're crying while you read the letters out. It's like, you have no idea.
Yeah, it's like, no. When that's taken away from you, you want it more and you're not used to not having them around. Or
just a phone call, to be able to call them. And you go on those shows and you can never call them. So people are always like, oh, my God, you've been away from them for like 2 weeks, a week. It's like, that's a lot. You know it's a lot. If it was you, you'd be the same because you can call your parents whenever you want. You can call them every day. Every day and day. So, yeah. My memories from my childhood always revolve around food.
yeah, so there's nothing wrong. I've got a lot of food memories as well, like random old school Aussie snacks that you'd have. Like we were talking earlier about, you call them something different, but the pizza rounders.
Pizza rounders, yeah.
The doughy with the pizzas inside with like the cheese.
Yeah, we call them pizza pockets. You can still buy pizza pockets. McCain makes them.
They were huge at Tuck Shop. And then what, I don't know, Chico rolls. Oh, sweet Chico rolls. And the big, like big old school spring rolls, but they were also kind of like a Chico roll together.
Yeah, but they were different. Chico rolls were definitely an Australian thing. Spring rolls are everywhere and you can have these huge things. Chico rolls, when they remade Puberty Blues,
yes,
I had everyone come over to my place and did, because the night before that show started, they replayed the movie from the 70s. So we watched that all together and I went and bought a heap of Chico rolls. You can buy them and you can buy the frozen ones from the frozen section of a supermarket. There's 4 in a box and guess what else is in the box?
What?
The package, the sleeve that you can put them in.
Oh, so
it's
you
got
can eat them like old school.
So you have old school. Yeah, you got to do it. And I had no idea. So I've gone and bought them. I went and got cubed cheese and pickled onions and Jats crackers, you know, all of the things, the cabanossi meat.
I know what you're talking about.
All the things that you had, French onion dip, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And I got Chico rolls, got the shock and treat of my life. life when I opened that box and there was four sleeves in there.
Hello, Christmas.
Chico rolls haven't aged well, let me tell you right now. I was be more excited about the sleeves than you are about the ingredients.
That book, though, Puberty Blues, was a huge book, which is weird because that was well before my time. It was on my mum's time. But that book was one of my favourite books just because I was just like, whoa. I passed that book around because we used to pass books around like probably more so 6, 7, 8. And I'd made all my girlfriends, you have to read Puberty Blues. You have to read it. And they did.
It's a rite of passage. It was so right. The woman that wrote that, her name's Kathy Lett. You should follow her on Twitter because she's great. She's really, really great. And you can have a chat with her. Tell her what you think about the book. She'll probably respond to you. She wrote that. That was a biography for her. It was her growing up in Cronulla.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Oh, I know all. You know what I love? I love a fact. Sometimes now to trigger my old school, trigger in a good way, I'll look up Titanic facts because remember I told you I used to sit in the library at school and look up Titanic facts?
Yeah, God,
and
you
gorillas.
were obsessed.
I was obsessed and I still am. So I will still look up gorilla facts and Titanic facts because it feels real good inside and I'll listen to my dashboard confessional, breathe in for luck, breathe in so deep. And I'll remember all the times that I used to have massive crushes on all these emo wankers that probably would ruin my life, but I loved them and my Titanic facts. Oh, that's my childhood in a nutshell.
Yep.
Did you know the actual movie, the length of the movie is the exact time that the Titanic took to sink?
No.
It's like 3 hours and something.
That's incredible. Did he do that on purpose?
Duh. God, Ernie Burgers. Yeah, of course he did.
Oh, my God, James Cameron, or as I like to call him, Jim.
Jimmy. Yeah. There's heaps more. I knew more so about the Titanic facts themselves, not the movie, but I can't think of them now. I'm talking when I was 12.
There was a whole heap of shoes. I remember that they found a lot of shoes.
I didn't know that.
They just found shoes upon shoes upon shoes. No people left, just shoes.
Wow. God, I love Titanic facts. I just love a good fact.
I used to work, when I worked at SeaWorld, I used to do the shark show. And in the middle of the shark show, at the end of the shark show, I should say, a submersible would come down from the top. It would splash into the top of the water and then it would it would go down slowly while I'd be talking all about how the submersible, this is the actual replica of the exact submersible that eventually went and found, because the Titanic, where it landed in the bottom of the ocean, was so deep. It took something like 80 years before technology had developed something to withstand the weight of the ocean on top of it. Nothing could get down before that to go and actually have a look at the wreckage.
So you're actually well more advanced in Titanic facts than me. So thanks for letting me ramble on for 5 minutes. Might make me look like a real cheese bit. Fucking hell, I need to get a grip. I'm sad about it. You took that from me. I'm going home. You know so much more.
Let me tell you something about gorillas. I used to work with gorillas. And
no, you didn't. Don't you dare take that from me. I will kill you. Fuck. So you're going to say you dated somebody for a dashboard confessionals and I'm just going to lose all my shit.
I dated a gorilla once.
There was this one time I dated a gorilla whilst I worked on the Titanic.
Yeah, and I used to talk about it on dashboard confessionals all the time. It was brilliant. Oh, pizza rounders. I'd use them as frisbees.
My dad was the inventor of pizza rounders.
Yeah.
Here I am explaining everything to you.
My dad used to wax his whole arms.
My dad invented wax.
Oh, are we done? Are we done for this episode, Angela Denise? Have you had enough?
We are so done. I've lived out history of my childhood now and I need a friggin' nap. Let's go nap, girl.
Oh, well, why don't you say goodbye to everyone and tell them where to find us?
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Oh my
Put
God,
a smile on your dial.
Are you doing that big bear
goodbye,
thing?
goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Put a smile on your dial.
What the hell was that? Was that the big berry bear?
That was one of the songs I sang in the cult I was in when I was a child.
Yeah.
Another
We'll talk
childhood
about that
memory.
another time.
We'll talk about that next time. But thanks for joining us. Please head to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast, and you can go, rate and review. I know it's annoying, but do it because then you'll
5
get
stars
more
only.
of this. 5 stars only, please. And yeah, enjoy. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Have a beautiful day. No, I was about to say something stupid. Kiss your dogs for us.
Yeah,
Bye.
check you later.